Hello, everyone. Thanks for inviting me. You can hear me even in the back? Because I talk really loud all the time anyway. So, as you said, my name is David Samuel. And, oh, you want me to use that?
Yeah, please.
All right.
Yeah, so this will...
Okay.
There you go. You have this on your hand.
All right. How's that? Better? Okay. All right, so briefly, I'll just tell you a little bit about my background and what I do, and then the sort of concepts that I'm teaching about. Since I was about 6, 7 years old, I saw my whole future, what I would do with my life, and sort of like a vision. Because I started with nothing, I've had to take care of myself since I'm about 13 years old. The plan was become very wealthy, have many businesses, retire before 30, become a monk, and then develop my own method of teaching for people to able to master their life, but in today's world. So it's not like a spiritual path, even though I was a monk for 7 years in Zen and Sufi and different traditions, but a balance between the entrepreneur, so we can have a good life, a home, a family, all the wonderful things of life, but at the same time developing more spiritually, personally, but without it being any religious type of path. Something that's just very practical in today's world, right? So I did that. I retired when I was 28. At that point, I owned 8 companies. In all, I built over 20 successful companies around the world. And then I was a monk in Zen, Sufi, Hinduism, different traditions in different countries. And after 4 years of that, I spent 3 years isolating myself in the mountains in Colorado. I'm born in Canada, by the way. So I've done all these different extremes in the business world, in the spiritual world, to develop a path where you can attain freedom, emotional freedom. Because spiritually, you won't evolve unless you have mastered your personality, your ego. So that's what my work is about, attaining that emotional freedom so that you can then develop spiritually in a true sense, okay? So now I'll just tell you a couple of concepts of my work. The work is many different programs because it's a school that continues for years, depending on how far a person wants to pursue their growth and understanding and personal development. But the main programs are based on the concept of everyone wants to be a mountain. I'm important, I'm a doctor, I'm a lawyer, I'm a 2-year-old, right? Every 2-year-old is saying, me, me, me. No, 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 every parent will tell you that. So we all want to be important. We want respect. So a big problem around the world is people have very low self-esteem. We don't feel good about ourselves. So we demand respect. And in so doing, you'll find that you never actually feel very satisfied. People are very empty, even very wealthy people, billionaires. I know some billionaires, they're still unhappy because the demanding of respect doesn't actually make you feel good about yourself. It's just trying to get people to make you feel good by them respecting you, okay? So instead of the normal path where I'm important, I'm awesome, I'm great, all these affirmations that are not really making a deep change, my view is we need to become more of a cloud. Now, a cloud, you cannot catch it, cannot destroy it, you cannot move it, and it's so powerful it can be a beautiful white puffy cloud, or it can become so black it blots out the sun. Now, nobody really thinks about a cloud. You think about Kilimanjaro, you know Kilimanjaro, that's a big mountain, everyone knows it, it's important, it gets respect because everyone knows it. And nobody thinks, what's the name of that cloud? Because clouds come and go. Now, the analogy fits very well to yoga because a mountain is immovable. And that's often people's egos, people's feeling of I need respect, I'm important. But a cloud is super flexible. It's constantly changing, moving. It's untouchable by anybody's attacks, insults, manipulation, guilt. Whereas a mountain made of gold is always in fear, protecting itself from someone coming to attack it, to take its gold, right? So, the idea of becoming a cloud is as simple as this analogy. When a plane flies into a mountain, everyone dies. Even the mountain gets hurt. That's a conflict. Anytime someone is attacking you, insulting you, putting you down, manipulating you, putting on a guilt trip. But a cloud, when the plane goes through it, nobody gets hurt. Not the cloud, not the plane, not the passengers. And that's basically the best way and the most powerful way to go through life, is to be a cloud, because that way no one can get you upset. You know, we all have buttons, right? Everybody has a button that if someone says that or does that, you get all upset. But a cloud has no buttons. So therefore, the cloud is ultimate power, because no one can control you. And then when you become free of anyone being able to control you, that solidity in any situation, that calmness, is power that actually controls the direction of your life, because no one else is controlling you anymore. So the work is to become more of a cloud. And obviously 5-10 minutes, I can't teach you how to do that. My life has always been devoted to teaching, to helping people have a better life. So I don't teach as a business. I teach to help people. I've made my money. I don't need any more money. So my school is applying to all aspects of life. How to make money so you can have financial freedom, which gives you freedom in the world, right? Because if you need money, you'll always succumb to what somebody wants from you, because you need their money, a job, whatever it may be. So we learn how to make money so you're independent. We learn how to become emotionally free so no one can manipulate you, make you feel guilty, make you feel like, oh, I have to do this even if I don't want to. You see, freedom is not, I can do whatever I want. That's not true freedom, because sometimes you still have to do things you don't want. True freedom is being able not to do what you do not want to do. And that's the principle of my school. We gain this freedom both in the worldly sense. I can help people with how to make money, career, business, whatever it is. That's a small part of it. But the bigger part is developing that personality that attains this state of freedom where you really are in control of your life. And you need to understand how to do that. So now I'll just explain one of the principles. Because I never went to school past high school. I only finished high school, 11th grade. And yet, one of my businesses was nuclear energy. So I could build a business in what was nuclear waste remediation. We dealt with the waste. That's when I lived in the US. It was so important, the President of the United States had to get involved in how the company worked, all right, and how we operated. So here's a kid who has no family, no background. I've been supporting myself since about 13 years old. I only finished high school, but I could build a company so important that the President of the United States has to get involved in it. So you see, that's power, and that power comes through a personality that is untouchable. That strength of character is what people admire, and that's what attracts them. That's how your career or your business grows, because when you have that stability, that no one can affect you, people look up and admire you. Because how many people do you know that never get bothered by insults without keeping anything inside, right? There's a big difference. You don't contain anger. You simply never get angry to begin with. A cloud doesn't retain things, right? When the plane goes through it, the cloud isn't saying, oh, that plane, why did it do that? No, it just go and it's gone. That's the power we need to get. Now, I'll just tell you about one of the concepts that's very important. Do you all believe that boundaries, you know boundaries, emotional boundaries, are good? Everyone believes that good? Does anyone think that boundaries are a bad thing? Me. Boundaries are the worst thing you can ever do to yourself. Placing boundaries on other people is putting up a wall to protect the mountain. And the worst part is you're playing God. You're telling another person what they can or cannot do. So the whole idea in the world now that boundaries are important, you must have your boundaries, is counterproductive. Because subconsciously you know you're telling someone else what they should or should not do, but you don't want anyone telling you what you should or should not do. So it creates an internal subconscious guilt and feeling of, do I have the right to do that, to control another person? So a lot of the things in the world are common, accepted, such as boundaries, and you think that's good for you, but it's working against you. And my work is to show you all of these subtle little tricks through my insight into how things work that are working against you so you can attain a greater freedom and happiness. So instead of boundaries, which are telling someone else what they can or cannot do, we separate that into boundaries and morals. Morals are what I will not do. I need a job, you're offering me a job, and you say, well, the conditions are this, this, this. And I say, no, I will not do that. So you can keep your job, right? Whereas boundaries are, you can't talk to me that way. Now I'm angry that you said such things to me. And it's insulting to me, so I'm angry at you. See, that's a boundary, saying somebody is not allowed to talk to you a certain way. And then you're upset, and they're upset, and we create a world, which is why I like Africa, by the way. You don't have as much of these political correctness things, because if a man mentions anything about anything slightly sexual to a woman, he can go to jail in America. There's amazing boundaries there. So what happens is, you'll get upset, and then he's scared to speak, so it creates fear and separation. Boundaries not only make you scared someone will cross it, but it makes other people scared to be open and talk to you. And that's the biggest problem in our world, right? In relationships and such, we don't communicate well because we're scared of saying the wrong thing. Will I get them upset? Will they feel insulted? Will they feel hurt? So everyone's living in fear. So, and you know that emotional fear will tense your body, and you don't have much flexibility that way, right? Counterproductive to your yoga. So if you want true flexibility, and you want to be able to move like a cloud smoothly, then you need to have emotional freedom as well. So that's just one small point of what I'm teaching, is how to become a cloud. So you're totally emotionally free. You have no more fear, because there's no more buttons anyone can push. You have no worries or fear or intimidation. I shouldn't say this. I can't approach that person. Totally open, because you know no one can hurt you. You no longer will have boundaries, which you are always subconsciously worried if someone crosses. You allow people to be as stupid as they possibly can, which many humans do, and let them be who they are so people feel safe and free and comfortable with you, which attracts more people to work with you, to be your friends. And you have your morals, which are, I'm sorry, that's something I will not do, but you're allowed to ask me to do it. You see the difference, right? I'm sure everybody wants to say certain things to certain people, but you're too scared to say it, right? But wouldn't it be nicer if you knew you could say anything and no repercussions? Nobody's going to freak out or get upset with you. And this is where my work applies in relationships. I've helped many marriages, many relationships, by getting people to understand if your partner says something, it's not coming as a direct attack to you. It's they're frustrated with life. Something is bothering them, and they're venting their pain. And this is just one other little thought you take away today will change your life. Anytime somebody is insulting you, attacking you, calling you names, whatever it is that you take as a put down in any way, an insult in any way, just remember one thing: everyone is in pain, right? Who in the world has no pains at all in their life? No fears, no worries. And everyone is in pain, and when we're in pain, sometimes we hold it in, but there's just a moment we can't, and we let it out. And so anytime someone is insulting or attacking you, just remember, they are venting their pain. It's not about you. But you are a mountain with your boundaries, so you take it personally, and then you feel attacked, you attack back, and you have a fight. How many relationships have ended because one person felt the other one was attacking them and insulting them and putting them down, when the other one was, no, I didn't mean it that way. But you ended up with a fight, and the fight grew, and you split up. You see? I know I'm jumping a little bit because he gave me only 5-10 minutes. So just giving you these couple of little concepts that you will learn. And of course, obviously, so much more. I love to teach. That's my only reason. My only pain is I'm not teaching enough people, because that's what I live for. I just like to see people happier. Whoop, I think the battery died or something. Oh, maybe. Okay. I want to see, and for a very simple reason, if reincarnation is true, and I am reborn to one of you, I want you to be a better person if you're going to be my parent. Basically, yeah, I just want to see happier people. I don't like seeing miserable people. So remember, any attack is somebody venting their pain. It's not about you. Soon as you take something personally, that's because you're a mountain demanding respect. You've set up boundaries. The invader has crossed the wall. You feel attacked. Therefore, assuming you're attacked, you attack back, or you feel hurt or guilty or whatever it is, and nobody is happy. Whereas the other way is if someone attacks, you know they're venting their pain, they're just expressing what they can't hold in. You happen to be the unlucky one who's receiving it, but you're a cloud, so the missile goes right through you. You don't get hurt or upset, and you receive them with compassion, knowing that they're suffering and they just got to let it out, and it happened to be in front of you. And then you don't get upset, they don't get upset, and what you do develop, ironically, by being a cloud instead of a mountain, is respect. In this way, you will gain admiration and respect. And the last thing I want to tell you is there's no such thing as love. Love doesn't exist as something itself. What love is a result of a combination of admiration and respect. When you admire and respect somebody, a partner, over time, you develop a truly deep, deep love that will last your lifetime. And so, as Confucius said, rather than demanding to be respected, make yourself worthy of respect. And that is how I succeeded in my businesses. And everything in my life is to be a cloud, to be calm, let them vent, receive with compassion, knowing that they're suffering, and then they eventually develop respect, and that is why they want you close to them, so you get into the businesses, the relationships, everything works. All right, thank you very much for your time, and if you want to hear more, of course, I mean, they'll give you my contact or whatever it is, so you can always find me. My website is simple, davidsamuelcloud.com. And I'm here for anybody. Anyone wants to chat, to talk, to email, I'm available. I just want to see people happier. So, yeah, I hope I make you happier.